Good morning, students. Today is our lecture 2. We are going to continue haloalkanes and haloarenes. Yesterday we had discussed the introductory points, their IUPAC names, isomerism, classification of alkyl halides and so on. And we started methods of preparation. So how alkyl halides are prepared from alkanes by free radical substitution, halogenation of alkanes. Then when alkenes react with hydrogen halides, so two types again there. One, electrophilic addition, second, free radical addition. Electrophilic addition is based on Markovnikov's rule, whereas free radical addition is based on anti-Markovnikov's rule. So today we are going to start with halide exchange method. Here two types we'll discuss. Number one, Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction is very important and specific for preparing fluoroalkanes in fact. So when an alkyl halide reacts with silver fluoride, we get alkyl fluoride plus AgX, and here X is chlorine, bromine or iodine because fluoride is being exchanged. Instead of AgF, we can also use mercurous fluoride or we can also use antimony trifluoride. Actually, antimony trifluoride and mercurous fluoride, these are used for preparing polyhalogenated compounds. So this is one of the methods, specific method in fact, for preparing fluoroalkanes. And the second one is Finkelstein reaction. So what you should learn and remember is that by using Schwarz reaction, we prepare fluoroalkane, whereas by using Finkelstein reaction, we can prepare iodoalkane. So here, when an alkyl halide is treated with sodium iodide dissolved in acetone, then we get alkyl iodide plus NaX, and here X is chlorine or bromine. So these two are the important reactions for preparing fluoro and iodoalkanes respectively, and they come under halide exchange method. So this was the third methods of preparation. Next is from alcohols. So far as alcohols are concerned, 3-degree alcohols are most reactive than 2-degree, which in turn is more reactive than 1-degree alcohol. Why it is so? Because you can see here 3 alkyl groups are there, and all of them are electron releasing group. They are plus I effect. So when they release electron, what happens? The electron density of carbon increases. The carbon-oxygen bond becomes more and more polar, so that the cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond becomes easier, and the tendency to form the carbocation also becomes easier. So therefore, the reactivity of alcohols towards this reaction, maximum 3-degree, then 2-degree, then 1-degree. And alcohols, when they react with hydrogen halides, then only we are going to get alkyl halide. So far as alkyl halides are prepared and hydrogen halides which are going to be used, amongst these hydrogen halides, the reactivity order is this. Although fluorine is most electronegative, but why Hi is most reactive? Because of the larger atomic size of iodine, so that the bond dissociation energy is minimum, and therefore HI is most reactive over here. So what you should learn and remember is that amongst alcohols, 3 degrees most reactive, amongst hydrogen halides, HI is most reactive. And in next chapter we are going to study the properties of alcohol, and there we'll study that Lucas reagent is used for distinguishing 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree alcohols. And what is Lucas reagent? It is a mixture of conc HCl plus anhydrous ZnCl2. Concentrated as well as anhydrous, very important. If you simply write HCl and ZnCl2, it will not work, because anhydrous ZnCl2, when zinc chloride is anhydrous, then what happens? Its octet is incomplete, it acts as a Lewis acid so that the cleavage of bond becomes easier. And this test is known as Lucas test. And this Lucas test, this is used for distinguishing 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree alcohols. They can be differentiated by using this test. So how do we carry out the test? When 1 degree alcohol reacts with hydrogen halide, that is HCl, concentrated in presence of anhydrous ZnCl2, we get 1 degree alkyl chloride. When it is 2 degree alcohol, then we get 2 degree alkyl chloride. And when 3 degree alcohol is there, even in absence of ZnCl2, then also we are going to get 3 degree alkyl halide. So why 3 degree alcohol doesn't require ZnCl2, which acts as a catalyst over here? Because it is most reactive. Why it is most reactive? Because of plus I effect, electron releasing group. As I said, that we can distinguish between 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree alcohols. This is a theoretical one. This is the reaction simply. But how can we say that this is a test? So on the basis of test, what you can say is that when 3 degree alcohols are treated with Lucas reagent, they give turbidity immediately. 2 degree alcohols they give after 5 minutes, and 1 degree they give only upon heating. So on the basis of this, you can distinguish between 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree alcohols as well. At the same time, we have prepared alkyl halides by using this reaction. When you need to prepare alkyl bromide, then what should you do? Alcohol, they react with HBr and they give alkyl bromide. Have you ever seen HBr or HI in laboratory? HCl, you might have seen, it is kept on the tables. But so far as HBr and HI is concerned, they are prepared during C2. They are prepared during the reaction mixture. So what do we do for preparing HBr? So for preparing HBr, any salt containing bromide ion, when it is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, then we get HBr, and this HBr can be used for such type of reactions. Similarly, when you need to prepare HI, then what do we do? So for preparing HI, if we use sodium iodide with concentrated sulfuric acid, here also you can get HI, but this HI reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid and you get this is very important point, and it is given in NCERT, one of the questions of in text, that while preparing alkyl iodide, why we do not use concentrated sulfuric acid? Because conc H2SO4, it acts as an oxidizing agent. And you can see that from -1 oxidation state, it gets oxidized to 0. So therefore, this reaction is not possible for preparing alkyl iodide. Then how do we prepare alkyl iodide? So for that, instead of conc H2SO4, we are going to use concentrated phosphoric acid, so that you get sodium dihydrogen phosphate plus Hi. And this Hi, when it is treated with alcohol, naturally you are going to get alkyl iodide. So these are the reactions which occur with hydrogen halides. As I said, Hi is most reactive because of least bond dissociation energy, which in turn is due to its larger atomic size. So one of the preparations from alcohols is from hydrogen halides. When alcohols, they react with hydrogen halides. Second is when alcohols react with thionyl chloride. My dear students, while naming the reagent even, you have to be very careful. SoCl2, this is thionyl chloride, whereas SO2Cl2 is sulfuryl chloride. So when alcohols, they react with thionyl chloride, then also we get alkyl halide, and the byproducts are SO2 and HCl. This question is very important, that why this method supposed to be the best method for preparing alkyl halide, or why thionyl chloride is preferred over all other methods for preparing alkyl chloride. So why it is so? You can see both the byproducts are gases, so they can easily escape or evaporate. So no separation method is required, and you can easily collect the major product. The third is from phosphorus halides. So when alcohols, they react with, as you all know, phosphorus has two halides, penta as well as trihalides. With PCl5, the byproducts are phosphoryl chloride and HCl. This is phosphoryl chloride or phosphorus oxytrichloride. Whereas when alcohol reacts with PCl3, then also we get alkyl chloride, same major product. But here the byproduct is H3PO3. This is a very vital and important point, that the major products are same, only the byproducts are different. With pentahalide you get POCl3 and HCl, whereas with PCl3 you get H3PO3. So far as PBr3 and PI3 are concerned, they are prepared during the reaction mixture. So when red phosphorus reacts with bromine, then we get PBr3. And similarly, when red phosphorus reacts with iodine, then we get 2Pi3, that is phosphorus triiodide, for preparing alkyl bromide and alkyl iodide respectively. And one more, the last preparation, which is known as Borodin-Hunsdiecker reaction. Although this reaction is not given in NCERT, but this is very important. What happens in Borodin-Hunsdiecker reaction? Silver salt of carboxylic acid, when treated with bromine, refluxed in presence of carbon tetrachloride, then we get alkyl bromide, carbon dioxide and AgBr. This is also an important reaction for preparing alkyl halide. So altogether there are 5 reactions as I have given. Previous class we have discussed from alkenes. Today we started from alcohols. Amongst alcohols there are 3 types. When alcohols react with hydrogen halides, when alcohols are treated with thionyl chloride, and when alcohols are treated with phosphorus penta and trichlorides. This is then the fourth one was halide exchange method. There we discussed Schwartz reaction and Finkelstein, and this is the final one, Borodin-Hunsbecker reaction. So after completion of methods of preparation of alkyl halides, we will discuss the physical properties. Number 1 is the physical state. So far as lower members are concerned, like chloromethane, bromomethane, ethyl chloride, ethyl bromide, they are gases, intermediates are liquids, and the higher members are solids. So as you all know, with increase in size and mass, magnitude of van der Waals force increases, and therefore physical state gets affected. Although alkyl halides are polar, halogen is more electronegative than carbon, but still they are insoluble in water. Why they are insoluble in water? Due to absence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Next is density. Fluorides and chlorides, they are lighter than water, but bromides and iodides, they are heavier. Next is boiling point. So far as boiling point is concerned, some important points are there. Suppose chloro, bromo and iodo. So if the alkyl is same, then the boiling point would depend upon the mass of halogen. If alkyl is not same, suppose CH3Cl, C2H5Cl, C3H7Cl and so on, then it would depend upon the mass of alkyl. Now, normal butyl, isobutyl and tert butyl. In which case the boiling point will be maximum. So, van der Waals force depends upon size, mass and surface area. Remember, with increase in branching, surface area decreases and hence magnitude of van der Waals force also. So therefore, normal butyl will have higher than iso, which in turn will have higher than tertiary. And one more important point is, that is dipole moment. And being fluorine most electronegative, then alkyl fluoride, they should have more polarity, more dipole moment, but it is not so. So the dipole moment actually depends upon electronegativity. So in that way, the order should have been CH3F, CH3Cl and so on. But CH3Cl, it is more polar, its dipole moment is higher than CH3F. Why does it happen? It is due to very small size, extremely small size of fluorine, so that the inter-electronic repulsion is more in that case. So these are the important points related with physical properties: physical state, solubility, density, boiling point and polarity. So all the methods of preparation and the physical properties you prepare well, so that in next class the chemical properties, types of nucleophilic substitution reactions we can continue. Thank you.